Now let's turn to Bangladesh. The chorus is growing for Sheikh Hasina's arrest. Courts have already ordered it, but Hasina remains in a safe house in New Delhi. So what is Dhaka doing? It is seeking Interpol's help. Now, Interpol, as you know, is a global policing organization. They have around 200 member nations and regions. Bangladesh's interim regime wants Interpol to step in, to issue a red notice alert for Sheikh Hasina. What does that mean? A red notice is basically a request to Interpol's member nations. If a suspect is in your country, try to arrest them or make them surrender. In this case, that suspect is Sheikh Hasina. A Bangladeshi court has already issued a warrant for her arrest, so technically Interpol can step in. Having said that, this is an ousted prime minister. The cases against her have a political dimension, so it's not clear if Interpol will help. Which brings us to India. What will New Delhi do if a red notice is issued? Well, a red notice is not an international warrant. Interpol says that countries can make up their own mind as to how they want to respond, and India will not be legally bound by it. But a bigger worry is the public sentiment in Bangladesh. You see, Sunday was a big day. November 10th marks Democracy Day in Bangladesh. On that day in 1987, protests broke out against dictator Irshad. The trigger? The death of an Awami League worker, a member of Sheikh Hasina's political party. And since then, November 10th has been Democracy Day in Bangladesh. So on Sunday, the Awami League tried to hold a rally, sort of like a comeback attempt. Look at what happened next. Student protesters and BNP workers flooded the streets. BNP is Bangladesh Nationalist Party, Khaleda Zia's party, one of the biggest political parties in the country. Together, they swarmed the streets of Dhaka. So the Awami League rally could not really happen. Before that, on Friday, the BNP held another rally, this one with a dark tone. It featured a woman dressed in Sheikh Hasina's attire. She was locked inside a cage. Take a look at this. So much for a new Bangladesh. These protesters are not interested in moving on. They're hanging on to the past. And what about their new leader, Mohammad Yunus? Well, he is enabling all of it. Yunus's advisors have removed Sheikh Hasina's father, Mujibur Rahman's portrait from the presidential palace. Remember, Sheikh Mujib is not just Hasina's father, he is also the founder of Bangladesh. Yet the new leaders of Dhaka disrespect him. Look at what Yunus's minister wrote. The photo of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the post-1971 fascist, is removed from Darbar Hall. It is a shame for us that we couldn't remove his pictures from Banga Bhavan after the 5th of August. The security situation is also deteriorating. Last week, Bangladesh's Human Rights Commission resigned. The commission had 6 members, including a chairman. All of them quit together. Do you know why? Likely because of pressure from Yunus. Their recent report talked about rising violence in the country. Mob attacks, rapes, beatings. This is what they mentioned in their report. And weeks later, all of them had to quit. Is this the reform that Mohammad Yunus promised? A complete realignment of Bangladesh's identity, an erasure of its past? And if so, what is the global community doing about it? Until now, Yunus had an ally in Washington, D.C., US President Joe Biden. But Trump's victory has flipped that equation. You see, Yunus is a prominent supporter of the Democrats. In 2016, he supported Hillary Clinton's campaign. His Grameen Bank donated between $100,000 and $250,000. His Grameen Research donated between $25,000 and $50,000 to the Clinton campaign. When Trump won, Yunus was heartbroken. Listen to his comments.
Trump's win has hit us so hard that this morning, I could hardly speak. I lost all strength. Should I even come here? Of course, I should. We must not allow this lapse into depression. We will overcome these dark clouds.
Now, you know Donald Trump, he's the sort of person who holds a grudge. We saw that after he won the 2016 election. A Bangladeshi delegation visited the US after his win, and this is what Trump asked them. Where is the microfinance guy from Dhaka? I heard he donated to see me lose. Well, that microfinance guy is now ruling Bangladesh. So will Trump put pressure on him, or will he follow Biden's policy? A lot really depends on how the transition goes. I'm sure the US security establishment has long-term plans for Dhaka, especially with respect to China and India. They will relay these plans to Trump's team. If they like it, he may stick to the policy. If not, he may ramp up the pressure. But India cannot just rely on Trump to address its concerns in Dhaka. That assumption itself is a surrender of India's influence. Our policy needs to be proactive, strong enough to protect India's interests, and soft enough to not push Dhaka into the arms of China or the US. As always, it's a tough balance.